Roman, Punk, Gunther, Sami Zayn, 4 names. These guys are easily, I would say, easily all ahead of LA Knight, who could potentially be the fifth. The fifth could be even a Jey Uso before LA Knight. It's a sticky situation. It's a sticky situation. He's moved over to Raw to kind of get this opportunity, but still he's no closer to the opportunity itself. He's in the main event scene, which is great, but he's not really closer to the opportunity. The first ever 2-night SummerSlam is in the books, and we move on to Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw, it felt somewhat familiar, with a raucous Brooklyn crowd and Seth Rollins opening up the show as the World Heavyweight Champion. And not only did he open up the show, he has finally hinted at his group's name. The faction is seemingly going to be called The Vision, which was right there the entire time, but they chose not to kind of name it early doors. They've waited to this moment where he is the World Heavyweight Champion to kind of address it and kind of give them a name. Not that he said this is the name of the faction, but he basically alluded to the term The Vision. And we learned late last week before SummerSlam, WWE had got the trademark for The Vision. So it makes sense, it's there. I won't talk about it again. We also heard Paul Heyman on the mic, and Paul Heyman had some really fun lines towards his group and how he sees the group. He called Bron Breakker the big dog that patrols the yard. He called Bronson Reed the tribal thief. A lot of quips and jabs at, ex Roman Reigns terms and nicknames. So I thought that was really good. But Seth Rollins in all his glory, he's got the World Heavyweight Championship. It makes sense. I'm happy that we're kind of moving on and progressing with this group. And the group are looking a bit stronger in their presentation now that they've got a World Heavyweight Champion in their midst. Now, we saw Roman Reigns, that I've mentioned before. We saw Roman Reigns on the show very late into Monday Night Raw, seemingly coming to make a save and involve himself in Seth Rollins' business, because at that time, CM Punk had already jumped in and caused an interference into the main event segment, which we will talk about in just a second. So all of a sudden, we've got Seth Rollins come from nowhere really with his Money in the Bank briefcase, cash in, become a world champion. CM Punk, who he stole the title from, in the ruse of the century at SummerSlam, he was in the fray. Roman Reigns has kind of come back into the fray. And it leads to my main talking point today of LA Knight, right? LA Knight has seemingly got involved with the main event level stars of Raw, Seth Rollins particularly, before Saturday Night Main Event. He had a match at Saturday Night Main Event against Seth Rollins, and this is where the ruse began. This is where Seth Rollins pulled the wool over everyone's eyes, pretending to be injured. He went so far as to get back up in the injury angle to eat a BFT, like LA Knight said on Raw. He ate the BFT and LA Knight pinned him. And at the time, I even said that, this helps no one. Yes, LA Knight got a win over Seth Rollins, which is a big achievement, a singles win over Seth Rollins, but it really doesn't help anyone. The win was tainted because of the injury or injury angle, right? Now, LA Knight has rightly come out immediately on Raw and said, see what you did there. Pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. Done a fast one, right? You said you were injured. You even lost to me, but you weren't injured. You went and cashed in and become the champion. Don't know why you needed to fake the injury to cash in. You've already got the briefcase, but hey, that's what you're on. That's what you're on. I was the last man to beat you. I'm going to be the first man to challenge you now for the World Heavyweight Championship. And despite Seth Rollins' best efforts to kind of cower out of that and not let it come to fruition, Adam Pearce was pissed off that obviously Seth Rollins has pulled the wool over everyone's eyes and, kind of faked this injury. So he said, yeah, we're not running away from this. We're having the match tonight here in Brooklyn. Seth Rollins versus LA Knight, World Heavyweight Championship on the line in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Crowd goes crazy. And it was good to see. Now, come on. We all know that so soon after this win, he wasn't going to lose. And it's funny to say that because we saw CM Punk lose the title so soon after he won it. But yeah, you just knew that LA Knight didn't have a chance to win this title tonight. But he's still in and around the scene, right? Nobody won this match in that sense because it was thrown out because CM Punk got involved. Okay? So that's one thing to say. But for me, what's What's a bit more frightening is that CM Punk got involved. CM Punk got back in the fray. Roman Reigns got into the fray. Now, obviously, these three men met, for WrestleMania, but now there's a belt involved. And we know what Roman likes championships. Now, I don't know if he's going to be around or how often he's going to be around. To be honest, I was surprised to see him in this position on Raw. But I think if I'm LA Knight, I'm scared that I've kind of moved over to Raw to get this opportunity at this secondary world title. And now the scene has become busy again with these other names that are bigger than mine. And lest we forget, Gunther, former champion, when he's back, he will have something to say. The Gunther injury, I think, is legitimate because a report came out before SummerSlam that he's struggling with, I think, a nasal injury. So I think it's good he can take some time off because Gunther is best when he's chasing gold, winning gold, defending championships. If we don't have anything for him like that right now, take him off TV. Because they've tried to do some in-between stuff with Gunther before, hasn't really worked. So we should find a way around that. That is the long-term answer. But for now, take him off TV as opposed to have him just doing nothing and kind of diminishing his stock. So like I say, LA Knight has come over to Raw to try and become the guy, a top guy, I would say someone that is in and around the main event now. He's definitely, made that jump, which is excellent. But is LA Knight really going to become a world heavyweight champion anytime soon? I don't see it. Personally, I don't see it. And if you guys see differently, let me know down below in the comments. But not through him not being enough. I just feel like the guys in front of him are just in front of him. That's what it is. Seth Rollins is going to carry this championship, I believe, at least to WrestleMania. At least. I think there's every possibility he walks into WrestleMania with the title. CM Punk, who you'd have to say is the number one choice, I won't say contender, but choice to win that title right now from the likes of a Seth Rollins. You would say Roman Reigns any day. If Roman Reigns is going to be about, Roman Reigns is a name involved in the mix. It's the question is he going to be around? Gunther, whenever he comes back, he's involved. Sami Zayn, someone that keeps banging on about winning a world title, and everyone's kind of bookmarked Sami to be someone to win the Saudi Royal Rumble next year. That takes him straight to WrestleMania for the title. How many names did I mention there? Roman, Punk, Gunther, Sami Zayn, 4 names. These guys are easily, I would say, all ahead of LA Knight, who could potentially be the 5th. The 5th could be even a Jey Uso before LA Knight. So you can really see it's a sticky situation. It's a sticky situation. He's moved over to Raw to kind of get this opportunity, but still he's no closer to the opportunity itself. He's in the main event scene, which is great, but he's not really closer to the opportunity, which I don't know if it's worrying. I don't know generally how fans feel about LA Knight. I am someone that recently got on the LA Knight train. I get it. I can see. I can see it. I get it now, sort of thing. And I'm subscribed to it somewhat, and I feel like I'm more engaged in his matches and stuff. So I'm more so feeling LA Knight these days. But I wouldn't even say with that I feel him more so than a Roman, a Seth, a CM Punk, even a Sami Zayn. I want to see win the world title. So Gunther, I'll have a third Gunther reign. Thank you very much. I'll bite your hand off for a third Gunther reign before a LA Knight reign. So it's difficult. It's difficult. So if you are an LA Knight enthusiast, I need you to enter the comments now and justify as to why he should basically jump this queue and be one of the next, let's be realistic and say one of the next champions. I can't really see it myself. I think that's a solid main event scene developing there on Raw, which he is in and around, but he's not in the championship scene. If you get my drift, if you can see where I'm going with this. You know what I mean? LA Knight, I think he's a great talent. I get it now. The matches are even getting more interesting and better to me. But the championship scene, I just don't see him within the next 2 years. Maybe at the end of the 2 years, maybe it's his time. But right now, I think he's really, really congested. But if you think different, let me know. Let me know, because it's good we're seeing these kind of new guys in and around that scene. Even Bron Breakker. I forgot to mention Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker, with his story in this group division, you know, like we've all said, evolution. We are surely going to see Bron Breakker defect from this group and become a title contender. I'm sure. And I don't know when, timeline-wise, that will be, but we're going to see it. And for sure, we've got to think that Bron Breakker's ahead of LA Knight. So if you're an LA Knight enthusiast, like I said, let me know in the comments, man, what you think his future prospects are of becoming a world champion. I would like to see it happen. I definitely would. And I think he's on the right place because that WWE championship, he can't win that one. He can't win that one. But he can win this one. He can win this one. So let me know what you think, if it will come to fruition, if anytime soon LA Knight is going to become a world heavyweight champion on Raw. And let's talk about it. Convince me, because as much as I think he is talented, I just don't think right now he is anywhere near the front of that queue. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. My name is Mex. Hit the notification bell as well so you get notified every single time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon. Yeah.